Welcome back, you guys. Today I wanted to, well, first I want to talk about my earrings. I told my 9-year-old niece that I was going to be starting my own channel, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that's really cool." She goes, "Would you mind wearing the earrings that I picked out for you and I got for you that one time, the feather ones?" I was like, "Okay, absolutely." So this is for you, babe. These aren't they fun? It's so cute. She saw them and she thought of me. Anyway, so that's a little piece on the earrings. So today I actually am going to do something really simple. Again, I think I really like to try and use minimal products, and also to kind of show you guys that it could literally be like 3 or 4 things that can be kind of a fun look. So today I'm kind of inspired by pink tones. I kind of want to do a monochromatic look using different shades of pink, and the challenge for me today is not to use bronzer. So we'll see how that goes. I didn't even put it in with the products I pulled. So we're just gonna hop into this. It's gonna just be a really fun pink monochromatic look. And I'm gonna be using kind of concealer as my foundation as well today. I prepped my skin with a little bit of a hydrating spray, and then I went in with a hyaluronic acid serum, and then just a few drops of an argan oil. So my skin's good to go, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I think what I want to do is actually just do a little bit of the skin, and then I'll kind of come back. I kind of jump around a little bit. So I'm actually using the Makeup Forever. They're like self-setting concealers, and I've really been enjoying them. They're pretty nice. I actually got them for my kit. I'm always looking for great concealers, so especially something that maybe you don't have to set with a lot of powder, because powder typically I find it can add more texture. So I'm just using a little bit, and I'm just kind of starting through the center of my face, and I'm just going to use a little buffing brush here. This is the Real Techniques again. Again, I want this look to be pretty simple. So I mainly concentrate this through the center of my face and just kind of like buff this out. Again, I'm not looking for like perfection with my skin. I just kind of want to brighten up the areas that are red and that are discolored, which typically for everybody is the center of the face. Because I have my bangs, I'm not going to even get up underneath there. I'm just taking my time and just working that in. So kind of simple. I'm going to come back to that in a second. Next, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start my eyes. I'm going to use an actual pencil that, I'm so sorry, I keep pulling things that are either like discontinued or like kind of like my favorites that I know you can't get anymore, but I still have. So the next product I'm using, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start my eyes. This one's by MAC. It's pretty old school. They don't even make it anymore. This is like my last bit. And I'm just working that on the lash line. So I'm going to kind of use this as a base for my shadows. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a fluffy brush. I'm just pushing and just like pulling it upwards. Like a soft kind of pushing, dragging motion. And then I'm also using the tip of the brush and just kind of like buffing that out. So this is going to kind of act as like a little base to keep our shadows in place. And today for shadows, I'm actually going to be using a blush, a couple pink blushes. So this just kind of gives a little bit of definition to the eye. And like I said, it's going to really kind of keep that shadow in place. Okay. I bet you could probably find a pencil in a similar shade. Maybe NYX makes one. I'm sure Marc Jacobs, he makes some really great colored pencils. And his actually, you can really work out, but you also got to kind of move quick because they do set, which is kind of a nice feature when you're using a soft pencil to buff and blend. They'll actually set. So again, just don't be afraid if you're feeling like you're being too rough. You're fine. Just buff. And I'm literally like gliding this across my lid. Okay, so you can kind of see it's just got this little bit of this burgundy hue. And then I'm going to go in with, this is a blush from MAC. It is called Dollymix. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that right on the tip of this and just tap excess. just going to go ahead and push that right over the top. I'm not worried about this being like messy at this point because we will be doing some blending. Just kind of get the color stamped on. I feel like because it's summer's winding down, all these kind of pinky fun shades are going to probably go bye-bye. So I kind of was like, let's do something playful, fun, colorful, and something that maybe people might be a little bit nervous to try themselves. So I'm just wiping out the brush, and then I'm just going to go in and just like blend the edges. Bear with me. This is at the point where most people freak out and go, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Stick with it. It's the end result. It always goes through like an ugly point. So just get past the ugly point, and then hopefully you can get to that place where when you are at the end, you go, oh, actually this worked out really great. Don't freak out, don't panic. Okay, so next I'm gonna do another blush. This one's by MAC. This one I've had, I love it. It's called Dame. Just like a nice kind of soft pink with a tiny bit of like a bluer undertone. If you feel like you have a hard time with pinks, maybe find one that has a tiny bit more of a peachy undertone, so maybe more coral. Maybe do the bluer one against the lid and then kind of do that coral one fading up. So I'm just kind of taking that blush and just kind of working this through the crease kind of as a transition. So I'm kind of just like almost doing this as like a wash of color. And I'm pulling this right up underneath the brow too. And then just check your mirror and check your edges. Just make sure they're all blended. Okay, so after this, I'm going to go in and do a little lash curl just to get these lifted. I always like to do a few pumps and then kind of pull back and then just gently kind of like release it. Okay, so next step, I'm going to go back in with that pencil. And I'm just going to go ahead and give a tiny bit more definition to the lash line. I'm just kind of working that right into the lash line. Tell me, you guys, is this something that you would try yourself? Are you afraid of pink? Have you tried it and it's not been successful? Anything that you want to feedback, give me, please. And then just using a small little brush. You can use like your finger too with this and just kind of like soften it out. Okay. And then next, I'm going to do a little tiny bit underneath my eyes as well. I'm going to actually go in with the softer shade Dame, just so it's there, but it's maybe not as vibrant. This would be kind of fun for like a day party maybe. A little bit into my brows because I'm going to pull my bangs down. So now I'm going to take a little bit of a lighter shade of concealer. The first one I used was kind of mainly, I would say, using that as kind of like my foundation color. Now this one's just a little bit brighter, and I'm just taking a little bit of that right underneath the eyes. And I'm going to use a little tiny, this is a sculpting brush by Kevin O'Quan. But I kind of like it. It's a synthetic brush, so synthetics work really great with creams. I'm just kind of highlighting the center as well and just pulling that right down along the nose. And then I do like to use my fingers to just kind of press and make sure I can feel that product kind of going in to the skin a little bit. Right underneath, pop in that corner, pull down, any areas that I feel like I'm going to brighten, which is mainly kind of the center of the face. Okay, challenge. So here I would want to go in and bronze myself up. I'm not going to do it. I'm actually going to take a little bit of a highlighting product. It's kind of in a liquid form. This is Becca's Shimmering Skin Perfector. I want to say the color is Opal. Just going to take a little bit here because I kind of want my skin to have like a little bit of glow on the high points. So I just pop a little bit out. I actually will take that concealer brush, foundation brush, and just kind of like get this glow right on the tops of my cheekbones just to add a little bit of this glowiness. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of blush over the top of this. It's really hard for me not to use bronzer right now, but I'm going to just go with it. I'm going to start off first with the shade Dame, the one I put through my crease. This is the softer pink, and I'm kind of applying it like I would where I would have my bronzer, but using really nice full brush. A little bit like on the apple and then just pulling back a little bit. You can kind of see how this is tying in with the eyes already. So just pushing and pulling that a little bit. Okay, hit the chin, sometimes the nose. You kind of see me like pushing that too. Okay, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna take the brighter pink and I'm gonna use, I think I'll actually use the same brush because it's nice and full, so that will apply the product in a much softer way. If I wanted this blush to be really full on and intense, you would use a smaller brush that's probably more dense as far as how the surface is. You want it a little bit of a denser brush. And then I'm just pushing this right on the apples. I'm dipping back in. I love me my blush. Take a clean brush that really has nothing on it. This is just the Real Techniques, and I'm just kind of, I like to do this through kind of the whole complexion, just pushing everything in. And then a couple small little details that I kind of think will be nice to add is this is kind of, I would say this is a highlighting pen by MAC. I think it's called Radiant Rose. It's the Prep and Prime highlighter. And I'm just going to dial it up a little bit, and I want a little bit down the nose. Again, I'm just kind of highlighting these areas that I want some brightness. So interesting, like filming and taping. I'm like, oh, this will be easy. This will be like a 5-minute tutorial. Well, then you have to talk and explain. So it actually will probably end up being like a 15-minute video, and hopefully you won't find it boring. So, okay. So this is pretty nice and has this, like I said, this monochromatic feel. Now I'm going to go in and do a little bit of a highlight, just kind of right in the center of that little tear duct, because I just want to brighten that up. And I'm going to go in with my mascara, and guess what? I think I'm going to do a pink lip. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush again, the one that had the pink, wipe it out. And again, I'm just kind of like softening everything together. Just very lightly, just buffing. I do have some other favorite mascaras that I will talk about at some point, but you're going to see me use this one a lot. So if, what's the saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it or something. I'm using the Extreme Dimension on top. I just find this kind of adds a little bit more of a fatness to my lashes, which my lashes have been really funny lately. One side is really nice and full, the other one's just kind of thin and little stragglers. And the more I try and build that side up, the more clumpy it gets. So sometimes I just kind of have to stop there. Okay, and my lip. I'm using one of my favorites that it's really hard for me to actually finish a lipstick and be completely done with it and then go and buy it again, which is rare. I never find a lipstick that I go through and I want to buy again because I have way too many lipsticks, but this one is it for me. It's one I've actually bought a few times. This is by MAC. It's called Lovelorn. It's like a nice kind of glazy texture, so a little bit more hydrating. It's not matte, but it gives you some color. It's a soft pink, and the texture, I don't know if they even, this is a luster, and I just want it, again, just something kind of glossy and easy. So this is the monochromatic pink look. Tell me what you guys think. If you like this, if you would try it yourself. And then also if there's any ideas that you have as far as what you'd like to see. Maybe you want to hear a video about skincare, just some really basic ways to take care of your skin. I find a lot of my clients that I meet don't really know how to take care of their skin. And it really does make a difference when you go to wear makeup, even if you're somebody who doesn't wear a lot of makeup. But let's say you're like, okay, my skin, I want to start wearing maybe a foundation. And then you go and you buy something, you put it on and it looks horrible. let's talk about skin. That will be helpful. So with all that said, I think this was kind of fun. Just setting myself with a little bit of Fix Plus just to rehydrate the skin. You can also do like any sort of facial mist, hydrating mist, and then I just kind of push that in. I hope you guys like this look. Let me know. And then if you have any ideas for what you'd like to see. So that's always helpful. Like, subscribe, hit the notification little bell, because then that'll let you know when I'm posting my next video. I appreciate you joining me. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.